The opinions expressed in this program reflect only those of the participants and are not necessarily those of the sponsors, management, or staff of WTBQ Radio or FST Broadcasting Corporation.
WTBQ.
Hey, this is Joe Dance, and welcome to the Creativity and Technology Solutions for Business and Life show. As in the past, the show will feature creative and technology solutions for today's competitive world, and the people who run small to mid-sized businesses and the folks trying to meet the unique challenges of daily living. We want you to think beyond the box and connect the dots for success. To accomplish this, the show will use experts to talk about technology, its trends, and new ways to leverage creativity in everyday life and business. Listeners will be able to hear the show online via the website at WTBQ.com at 11:10 a.m. and 93.5 FM on the dial here in the Mid-Hudson Valley and in New Jersey as well. And listeners can call in on 845-651-1110. As I mentioned, I'm Joe Dans. I'm your host. I head up the Warwick-based Rogue Wave Creative Group, which provides tech PR and creative think tank services. It can be found on the web at rwcgroupinc.com. And today we got a great show. We're going to be talking about technology and creativity with members of the Pascack Valley Pioneers from Bergen County, New Jersey's Pascack Valley and Pascack Hills High Schools. And they are the proud winners of the 2017 First Robotics World Championship in St. Louis. And first we're going to talk to Kevin Killian. He's the lead mentor for the Pioneers. He's been a math teacher for 14 years at Pascack Hills High School, and he's also been a Pioneers coach and mentor for 13 years. He's been mentoring to students primarily on robot design and mechanical engineering. Prior to becoming a math teacher, he worked in the aerospace and telecommunications industry as an engineer for 19 years, invented, designed, and built gyroscopes for satellites. And Kevin, we could probably go on about your background, but let's get back to robotics. How are you?
I'm doing great, Joe. How are you?
Great. Congratulations. This is quite an achievement. I know you guys have been doing this for quite some time. My alma mater is Pascack Valley High School, and even though you are a Hills teacher, this is great because you've obviously pulled those two teams together and won an outstanding award. Tell us about the competition itself and the significance of this award, because this is a national award, right?
Yeah, it's actually a world one. But anyway, thank you for putting the rivalry aside between Pascack Valley and Pascack Hills and agreeing to have me on your show, first of all.
No problem.
So this is First Robotics, and there are roughly 3,500, 4,000 teams around the world that compete in this competition. And they every year you have to build a brand new robot for a brand new game that nobody ever heard of before. Right. And it's kind of like a video game on steroids played in live action, not on a video screen.
Yeah.
We have 6 weeks to build the robot. We find out the first week in January, and we have to finish it up by around President's Day weekend. And then we go to a variety of tournaments from the district level to the regionals, working our way up the chain until we get to the World Championships. We've been to the World Championships quite a number of times. In fact, the last 10 years in a row we have, and we've had some moderate success, some very good success, but never took the whole thing home until this year.
That's outstanding. What did they ask your robots to do this time?
Well, this again, so the crazy video game that we were emulating this time was you had to take a airship from, sort of like a steampunk airship from the 1800s and equip it with fuel and gears so that it could take flight.
Oh, wow.
And then your robot was supposed to climb a rope and grab on and fly away with it.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine what that looked like on a video screen. It actually looked pretty cool on the field of play as well.
I can imagine.
And so what we had to do was we had to stoke the boiler with fuel, which were basically just wiffle balls that we had to shoot up high into a boiler.
Yeah.
We had to deliver gears to this airship that wanted to take flight so that it could properly set its gear mechanism and turn its rotor so it could fly away.
Wow.
And then, as I said, we had to climb a rope at the very end so that as it simulated taking flight, we could take off. So the robot functions were, drive around a field roughly the size of a volleyball court. There's 3 robots on each side, so you have 3 opponents who are playing defense on you, trying to keep you away from what you're doing, while we're trying to accomplish what we are in conjunction with our 2 teammates, and pick up gears, deliver them, pick up fuel, the wiffle balls, and shoot them into the goal. Like I said, play defense against the other guys, avoid the defense they play against us, and still have time to climb the rope at the very end. So those were the robot functions that we had to accomplish this year.
Wow, and that's amazing because you were only given 60 days. You know, the definition of skunk works operation in the military. You were in aerospace. Is getting this all designed up and running mechanically in roughly 60 days, right?
Yeah, it was even less than that. It was 6 weeks.
Wow.
So it's even less than 60 days. And you mentioned I was in aerospace, and I've been on proposal teams where we had to prototype something, demonstrate it, take data on it, video and photographs, and package it in with our proposal. And a lot of times those were 4 to 6 weeks turnaround time from when the proposal was let out to when it had to be submitted. So
wow.
I have to say this really is a realistic and a fantastic experience for the kids on the team.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to talk to some of those kids later on. How many young people did you have on your team, and who was your support group? I know you had sponsors. Well, we could talk about them later. But how many kids did you have on the team, and where did you draw from? Where did they get the background to do this? Because you're talking about programming, you're talking about building a machine from scratch. How many were on the team, and where'd you get them from?
All right, so we have about 80 kids on the team this year, and
wow.
as you mentioned, we get them from both Pascack Hills and Pascack Valley High School.
Yeah.
Roughly equal between the two schools, about number of kids, and almost half of them are girls, which I think is great. That's something that's changed a lot since the very first years of the team.
Yeah.
And so some of them come in with capability beforehand. A lot of them maybe help their parents around the house fixing things, or maybe
Sure.
like to work on cars or something like that. A few of our programmers have done some programming before we get our hands on them, but
right.
The vast majority of them really don't have much knowledge, just have enthusiasm, a love of science, a love of math, and enthusiasm to learn.
Sure.
And what we do is we take our rookies and we put them through a 6-week training program in the fall. And a lot of times you also have the older kids teach the younger ones so that they reinforce their learning.
Right.
Our objective there is by January 1st, when we learn the game, that they know their skills, they know how to design, they've learned to sit on the computer, do computer-aided design. The programmers have learned to program.
Right.
They've learned to do machining, assembly,
Yeah.
and we're ready to go.
Yeah. Now, when I went to Pascack Valley High School, in 8th grade, they actually used to have shop class. Do they have anything like that anymore in the school chain, or has that disappeared? Is it suddenly a newfound skill for your students?
It is a disappearing thing. A lot of schools have totally done away with their shops. We don't really have shop class anymore. You can't take wood shop, you can't take metal shop, but they do have a class called technology design and a 2-course sequence of engineering. And so they left many of the tools still in place, and that's handy because even the kids who are taking the classes, not the after-school robotics team, but there are a few classes where you have to get up and use some of the tools to make the things for the tech design class or the engineering design class. There's still a little bit of that going on, but it gets more to the design aspects of things, making the decisions, how to be an engineer, and less, how to use a lathe, how to use a plane, how to make, a salad bowl, a table, whatever, less of that.
And one of the most innovative things you did was, I think you used something from a pizza shop, right, to help you build.
Yeah, we did.
If you want creativity, folks, listen to this one.
14-inch deep dish Chicago-style pizza pan. We one of the groups on our team had to manage those wiffle balls. We'd scoop up a whole bunch of them, and they would be all in a hopper, arranged, in some haphazard way.
Yeah.
We had to make them line up single file and send them to our shooter. So some of the kids designed. Anybody who's played paintball, knows what the feeder for a paintball gun looks like.
Yes.
And if you don't, it's basically a rotating, slotted, maybe slotted spoon, basically, that goes around and around until the ball drops out to a slot. And so we needed a nice round device that was of the right size and shape, so the balls would go around and then drop to a hole in the bottom with this rotating piece that would go around. And, we think designing it ourselves or trying to bend polycarbonate or other materials into the right shape. And then we suddenly started thinking, well, what out there has the shape that we want?
Oh, wow.
We're looking at the kitchen happens to be right next to our auto shop where we do our work. So we went into the home ec teacher's kitchen, looking around, and started thinking about baking pans. Getting online, go to bedbathandbeyond.com, looking for things, and finally found what was just the right size was the Chicago deep dish pizza pan. Sent one of the recent graduates who came back to help us during his college break, hopped in the car, drove to Bed Bath & Beyond, came back with a couple of pizza pans, and off we went. It really unlocked the key to that particular part of the robot.
Well, that's great. Well, it shows you how to be resourceful. It shows you how to be innovative. And, it doesn't mean you have to machine every piece, I had done a show not too long ago where there was a organization that basically ran old railroads. They basically had steam engines, and none of the parts existed anymore. And they actually took diagrams and did what you guys did too. They used CAD programs, and what they did was they took a piece of copper from today and made it into something that hadn't been built since 1906, and it was amazing. But you know what? If you can do what you guys said, find some alternatives where you don't have to reinvent the wheel necessarily. In this case, it kind of was a wheel. That's pretty good. And you know what? We're going to go to a break now. And we'd like to talk to some of the students when we come back. We'll have Jessie Belden up, and we'll talk to her. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Having difficulty sleeping with a dip in the bed is the reason so many people shop Millspaw Furniture to switch to two-sided Schiffman mattresses, and we accommodate them once we determine that they're not talking about their spouse, but a sag in the mattress. Hi, this is Keith Millspaw of Millspaw Furniture of Walden, Poughkeepsie, and Warwick. For a limited time, we reduced pricing on all Schiffman mattress sets in one-of-a-kind covers so you can get our two-sided, no-dip quality story for less while supplies last during our lowest price of the year sales event. Invest $1 or $2 a day in two-sided handmade flippable Schiffman mattress sets, then you'll actually be cradled in comfort and support for years to come, and you'll finally get rid of that dip you've been sharing your bed with. Since two-sided mattresses are almost impossible to find anywhere else, you'll only enjoy this sleep experience from Millspaw Furniture of Walden, Poughkeepsie, and Warwick. Sturdy, elegant, comfortable, timeless. That's Millspaw Furniture, offering non-disposable furniture and mattresses since 1858. Hurry in to Millspaw Furniture to improve your sleep for less at our lowest price of the year mattress sale event.
Make any special occasion the memory of a lifetime with music to remember. From Sinatra to Rihanna, choose the local and award-winning DJs from Music Magic. They're experts at driving creative party ideas and games that shape a great time. They even do magic and comedy for every occasion. Give them a call at 845-986-5602 or text them at 914-393-7758. Music Magic is fully insured and provides local references, so give them a call today.
Don't skip a beat this summer. Sussex County Community College is offering summer sessions to keep you on track with your college education. Registration is going on now for our Summer Session 2 starting July 10th. Are you a high school student set to graduate? You can get a jump start in your college education early with Summer Session 2 classes. Sussex County Community College. Find out more by calling us at 973-300-2223 or visit sussex.edu/summer. Sussex County Community College. Start here. Go anywhere.
The law firm of Beatty & Krahulik, founded in 1872, provides sophisticated legal services to businesses and individuals throughout the Orange County area. As the oldest law firm in Orange County, the firm has developed a reputation of providing the highest quality client service. This is attorney Bob Krahulik, the lawyer guy here on WTBQ Radio. Call for a free consultation at 986-1155. That's 986-1155 at hudsonvalleylaw.us.
Hi, this is Mary Ulrich with Cornell Cooperative Extension in Orange County, inviting you to join me and your Orange County farmers on Farm Talk every Wednesday at 12 noon, where you will learn everything agriculture on WTBQ, radio worth listening to.
WTBQ.
Hey, this is Joe Dance, and welcome back to the Creativity and Technology Solutions for Business and Life show. And today we're talking robotics with New Jersey's Pascack Pioneers, the winners of the 2017 First Robotics World Championship. And, you know, we're Jesse Belden. Are you there?
I am. Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Jesse, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're going to have four of young people on our show today, but you had a team of 80 people, and I know parents helped. You had great mentors and everything. What would your shout out to your team be?
I would just say that we did a really great job, and everyone had a hand in doing something that was able to get us here, and everyone who was on the team this year and alumni should all be proud of what we've done.
Yeah, and you literally needed 80 people, didn't you, right?
Yeah, we used every one of them.
And you were on the mechanical subdivision part of the team. You know, what did they do? What were you involved in?
Correct. So mechanical is an overreaching branch which has about 3 other subdivisions, which is carpentry, chassis, and the other mechanical groups. And mechanical groups build things such as a shooter or a feeder or a climber, that pretty much anything on the robot that moves that doesn't have to deal with driving is under that little subdivision.
Right.
Carpentry will build the practice field so that we have something to have the correct measurements and drive around on.
Yeah.
And the one that I was on is chassis. I actually led that this year, and that's the transmissions, the base, the wheels, anything that makes us drive.
Yes. Was that drivetrain? Drivetrain, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's really cool. And, what did you learn? What stood out for you most working on the robotics team? What were the things that you got from it?
So I actually came onto the team with 0 mechanical knowledge. So since my freshman year, I've been on both the minor mechanical group and the chassis group.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to use motors, how to use chain and gears to make things run. I've actually learned a lot about transmissions and how to get the right torque versus speed and how to make things drive the way you want them to.
Right, absolutely. And that's fairly complicated. And what was one of your best and memorable stories about working on the team during the year, when you were actually the part of the year that you worked on this project?
I think one of the most memorable things was we used transmissions that we had never used before this year, and I've never been on this chassis team before, and this was my first year leading it.
Uh-huh.
And we were using something that we had never used before. So when we built a test chassis for that, we put everything together, and to see that drive and see that everything actually works was pretty impressive, because I had never done this before, and I did it all by myself over the summer, and it worked out extremely well. Yeah.
Now, you'd like to be a mechanical engineer someday, right?
Correct.
This is a good training ground for it. You know, when I was talking to, Kevin before, he said a lot of the young people from your school that were planning to go to college down the road, one of the nice things that helped them get into some of those schools was having been on a robotics team.
Right, yeah. So I actually came onto the team thinking I wanted to be a forensic scientist. And then after being on the team, I realized how much I actually do enjoy engineering. So I kind of switched over to that field. And it's definitely, Mr. Killian always tells us that if you look at a kid who does robotics, it just puts them that much more ahead on an application.
Yeah, I would think so. And that's certainly a wave of the future in terms of robots. We've had people on here before talking about drones. And, it doesn't necessarily eliminate people's jobs, but they do need people to operate robots, program them, develop and design them. And the same thing with drones as well. So there's some really good opportunities there. Now, one other thing you had said to me in the past was you also learned about teamwork, right? How important that was.
Our team does something really cool is anyone who's going to be a leader needs to go through a leadership training session.
Oh, great.
So going through that really taught me how I need to think about what works best for each individual. So if I were to tell one kid to do something a certain way, it might not necessarily click with another kid. So you have to really learn how to make sure you're getting a message across to everyone that everyone can understand, and that they need to know, all right, I can do this, and how do I need to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to see how many moving components there are to a project like this, which isn't really different than an organization or a company or a manufacturing firm that has a launch of a product and we'll say has a skunkworks operation. Kayla Vincent, are you there along with Jesse?
Yes, I am. Hello, how are you?
Hey, welcome to the radio show. And I understand that you're a senior and you're from Pascack Hills, and you were the head of the management and outreach and design division of the team and a member of the presentation team. Why don't you tell us about what you did and how you had an impact on this absolutely fantastic win for you guys?
Absolutely. So we like to call our team a business. We run our team like a business. So we do everything from marketing materials, creating fundraising events, recruiting new sponsors. We spread the message of First and STEAM within our community locally for town days and parades, but also travel to Washington, D.C. and advocate for more programs like this. So our team is truly more than just robots, like First says.
Yeah.
So I've been a part of expanding our outreach programs and developing our business plans year after year. Like you mentioned, I'm on the presentation team, so during competition season, everybody has a different role to help out the team, of course, get to our final end goal of winning the competition and winning outreach awards. So I present to judges in our pit area, and we discuss all of our team's outreach events and activities, how we're involved in our community, and this presentation skill is a great way not only for someone to feel comfortable presenting, but it's great preparation for interview skills as well down the road.
Sure, absolutely. You have to train all your people to be good spokespeople, say the right thing. I've been involved in public relations for technology companies for years, and one of the challenges I've always had is that when you're trying to win somebody over, you can talk in very technical terms, but the average person may not understand that. You almost have to translate technology speak into human speak. Is that something that you found as a challenge and something you needed to do?
Absolutely. That is one of our biggest challenges, is teaching our team of 80 students how to properly explain not only what the robot does, but our outreach activities. We present it as if we're speaking to someone who has never heard of our program before or our team.
Good.
So you need to make sure that you cover all the basic details you would assume to understand yourself. However, one might not know. So even, your basic terms, we even had a crossover in communication with our team this year and had to explain some technical terms as well. So communication is key in our success.
Yeah. What type of outlets are you using to communicate within the group itself? Now, you're talking about internal communications too within your group. Was that your responsibility as well?
I take care of all of our team's social media and marketing as well. So within our team, I run about 30 to 35 of our team members and lead them. So, whether it's clear communication about team meetings and our project goals and outlines, or whether it's clearly communicating the next team outreach event or our advocacy campaign, we are on all social media platforms. We have our team website, team1676.com. Again, we really try and reach as many people as possible. So whether that would be our YouTube channel or anything like that, we need to make sure that our message is clear.
Sure. So you did your messaging already. Was that something that was certainly something that was part of your plan, right?
Absolutely, yes.
What was your biggest challenge in doing this job?
I think one of my biggest challenges was learning how to communicate. I was the girl who sat in the back of the classroom and never raised her hand prior to joining the robotics team.
Yeah.
And now I can speak in front of any size crowd with any person, whether it would be a school principal or a government official or parents and sponsors, and I've learned and felt very comfortable within my training on the team, whether it be the leadership training or the technical training in the beginning of the season. It has prepared me, and I've gained a lot of confidence from that in order to excel in my position.
Yeah. You know what? Once you know your product, once you know the technology, you could speak extemporaneously, right? Or maybe with just bullet points in front of you.
Absolutely, yes.
And what's your best story? What's your most memorable story in terms of communications, your best success story, or just a fun story that you can recall in terms of your experience heading up communications?
Well, we are lucky that we get to travel for competitions, and last year we were able to attend a regional competition in Ohio. And at this competition, my presentation partner, Carly, and I had one of our best presentations yet. We nailed every point of speaking that we wanted to discuss about our outreach and how we run our team. We felt so confident leaving that presentation, and we won the most prestigious award, the Chairman's Award, at that event. And that feeling was like no other, because our hard work, you saw it come to life, and the emotions that it brought to others. And that was at the beginning of our run here, and truly created an impact and a lasting change on our team. So that was one of my biggest moments on the team.
Sure. And Kayla and Jesse, you guys ran up against some amazing competition, didn't you? You ran up against some folks that were, I guess, the kids of NASA, right? Some of the scientists out there. What was like that? What was that like?
It was intense. You know, we had really great partners, so that helped us out a lot. But to be sitting in the stands, you could hear the entire crowd was just cheering for our team, cheering for us to win. It was an incredible feeling to just see that much support coming from the stands, especially since we were going up against these really strong teams who had won championships before.
Yeah.
And that we were able to defeat them, and it was amazing.
What do you think?
One of the last matches came down to 3 points as well, so it was very intense competition, and that lasted for the entirety of the playoff rounds.
Folks, we've been talking about robotics with New Jersey's Pascack Pioneers, the winners of the 2017 First Robotics World Championship. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Hi, this is Grace Warren, a licensed real estate agent for Better Homes and Gardens Rand Realty for more than 17 years. And I'm ready to hear your wants and needs, and then I will help you fulfill your goals. As a full-time residential specialist and longtime resident of Orange County, I know the Orange County market very well, and whether you're a buyer or seller, my priority is your satisfaction. For more information, please visit my website, gracewarren.randrealty.com, and let's get together.
Honor is an organization that provides 3 meals a day, transportation, and counseling, as well as emergency housing for men, women, children, and families in order to assist everyone in becoming self-sufficient. Join Honor on June 17th, beginning at 5:30 p.m., when Honor presents their 4th annual fundraising event to support all these services. This year's fundraising event will be held at the West Hills Country Club in Middletown, are famous for their divine cuisine and flawless service. You can make a difference. Buy a ticket and enjoy delectable fare, great music, and riveting conversation for an evening honoring those who continually make a difference in all of our communities. Or you could just make a donation. Bring your friends, family, and loved ones. To purchase tickets, please visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/honor helping others.
Dental Arts of Orange County is the perfect blend of a spa with high-tech dentistry, all in one classic and stylish office right on Main Street in the Village of Florida. Choose Dental Arts of Orange County whether you are in need of regular dentistry, cosmetic dental options such as Invisalign to enhance your smile and your self-confidence, or you just want to turn back the hands or the face of time with cosmetic treatments such as Botox and Juvederm. Call now for a complimentary consultation at 651-4647. With over 26 years of experience and ongoing advanced training and technology, Dr. Batafalvi is the only dentist for you and your entire family for all your needs. The Spa and Dental Arts of Orange County is the place everyone is talking about for state-of-the-art advancements in both dentistry and cosmetic treatments. Call now for a complimentary consultation at 845-651-4647. and visit their offices at 14 North Main Street in the Village of Florida.
Riding season is here. Sure, we've had some rainy days, but that's Mother Nature's way of telling you to make sure your beast is ready to roar. Make sure your motorcycle inspection is up to date and check those tires. Bring your ride to Maroney's Harley-Davidson in New Windsor, where they have Harley-Davidson certified technicians with over 100 years of experience combined. With over $1 million in parts, if your ride needs it, they have it. Bring your motorcycle to family. Bring it to Maroney's Harley-Davidson on Route 300, 845-564-5400. Visit fasthog.com.
Your hometown insurance agency, the Windermere Insurance Agency, provides their clients with the highest quality insurance plans coupled with affordable rates. Whether you're shopping for auto insurance, home insurance, life, or business insurance, we offer the best coverage possible and the lowest possible rates. Call 845-595-1555 to have all your insurance questions answered by the professionals at the Windermere Agency.
Conveniently located in Greenwood Lake at www.windermereinsurance.com.
If you missed the Frank Truett Show, here's what you missed.
Bobby! Angel Tompkins, an actress, 1943. Walking Tall, the original one she was in. That's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
See, now you're getting into my kind of movies.
Sure.
No Lou Gehrig in that movie. A bunch of Southern guys driving around going after moonshiners. Can't go wrong. Good stuff.
The Frank Truett Show, weekday mornings till 9 on WTBQ.
WTBQ weather.
For today, we'll see partly sunny skies, cool but pleasant. Highs in the upper 60s to near 70. Tonight, partly cloudy, 45 to 50. Could have a little bit of fog Thursday morning, otherwise a mostly sunny and pleasant day. Highs reaching the mid-70s, upper 70s for Friday, possibly an isolated shower or storm, but most of the day is dry. And then this weekend, turning hot and more humid on Sunday. From the WTBQ Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Sean Rowland.
WTBQ.
Hey, this is Joe Dance, and welcome back to the Creativity and Technology Solutions for Business and Life show. And it's my pleasure today to be speaking with the folks of and talking about robotics with New Jersey's Pascack Pioneers. And they're the winners of the 2017 First Robotics World Championship. And when we talk about World Championship, we're talking about the world taking on the young spawn, we'll say, of NASA around the world and other places as well. And we've already spoken to Kevin Killian, and he was an instrumental mentor. And now we're going to talk to Jack Theodore. And Jack, are you there?
Yes, I am, Joe.
Hey, congratulations on this
Thank you.
Big win. Folks, Jack is a network engineer for an internet, and what has been a little background about him, network engineer for internet service provider for 15 years. And you actually started at Prodigy. Wow.
It's been a long time.
You've been in the game for quite some time, but you were really at the beginning of it in terms of the World Wide Web and things like that. And you're a computer consultant, and you're helping small businesses with custom systems and software development. And you've been a pioneer coach with these folks, these young people, for 9 years. Helping them, and you've been mentoring in programming and electrical systems, and also the drivetrain team. Right? Is it Train Drive or Drivetrain?
But I train the drive team. Once we find out what the game is and we build a robot, we have to come up with strategy on how they're going to play the game, where they should move, how they should take their shots, where they should line up. So I do a little bit of that.
Yeah. How many hours did you put in as a mentor? Probably a significant amount. And you've been doing this for a long time.
I'm not sure I can count that high, but it has become a second full-time job.
Well, I know one of my friend's sons, Michael Carbonaro, who participated in the program, was one of roughly the 80 people on your team that you pulled together, was putting in strenuous hours. And, he learned a lot, and so did the other students. And this is really paying off for them, isn't it?
It is. I find it amazing each year that these students can balance their homework and school and other activities with all of the time we put in for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is dedication, but it's paying off. And from talking to Kayla before, I really like the approach that your project has had. You take the approach of kind of a skunkworks operation, but organizing yourself, from communications people to people who develop the drivetrain for these things to people who are doing software programming, just the way a company would, so people really get the feel, whether you're Jesse or you're Kayla or some of the young people we're going to talk later on. They get the feeling that they're in a real enterprise.
No question. There's so many parts to building this robot, and not just the engineering side, that we have to be organized. All the parts of the robot have to fit together.
Yeah.
We have to have the financing right. We have to have our social media right, and it does take a lot of coordination.
Now, you had parents that helped as well, and I think you even had sponsors, too, local basis businesses who got in and supported you as well. I didn't have a chance to, talk to Kevin about that. But you had some pretty big-time sponsors, right?
Our biggest sponsor, of course, is our own Board of Education. They back us 100% with money, with space. They opened the building for us if we need it, especially during build season.
Yeah.
We have some really big sponsors such as Orange and Rockland, BMW, the local ShopRite. They give us money. They give us mentors that come in and help, and we really appreciate their support.
Yeah, no, that's really super. And how many? Now you got involved in the programming. It's amazing because you basically have a robot, and you're transmitting information wirelessly to the robot to get it to do something, right? But you're also, there's a component, you have that component, and then you also have the component that's autonomous, where the machine has to run by itself. Maybe you could talk about the programming of both and how things came together for you.
Well, the wireless functions are given to us by FIRST. We don't have much control over that.
Mm-hmm.
We have code in the robot that talks to the driver station that the students are using to control the robot. So, for example, we'll read the joystick commands that the driver is using and then translate that into what he wants it to do on the robot.
Oh.
As for the autonomous, for the first 15 seconds of the match, the robot has to perform the tasks on their own.
Yeah.
What we did this year was, I know Kevin talked a little bit about how to play the game this year.
Mm-hmm.
Our autonomous this year was to place one of the gears that we needed for the airship on a peg and then back up so that it can be put into the airship.
Wow. What do you think turned the tournament for you guys? What do you think beat out the competition in terms of what your device was capable, your robot was capable of doing?
I think what won it for us was our consistency. We did not miss an autonomous gear this year, and we did not miss a climb. Right. And we meshed very well with our partners that we were playing with. Each tournament is 3-on-3, so we've got 2 other partners that play with us. And our driver, who you're going to speak to in a little bit, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But we meshed very well. Each team did their job perfectly just about every time. And that's how we were able to beat the other team. We won the last match by 3 points. So we really always had to be on our game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Evan Cho there. And Evan, you were one of the drivers, so you were under the gun too. It's not only the robotics as well, and certainly the software, but it's your ability to do that. That's pretty cool. And you were also on the carpentry team as well too, right?
Yes, I was.
What was your biggest challenge?
So when it came to the carpentry, it was a lot of getting people comfortable with the tools and stuff, because carpentry usually only lasts about 2 weeks to make, and then most of my students will go to different sub teams. They'll either go to mechanical or programming. They'll learn something else. So it's a lot of managing speed, but also teaching them enough.
Right, and I think basically before. Jack had said that in order to get the programming, it had to look at the way you drove the vehicle itself as well in certain instances. Is that correct?
Yeah, during autonomous, for carpentry we needed to make everything perfect so that we knew what we were going into beforehand.
Yeah. So with carpentry, are you building a test bed to drive this on? Is that what I think that's what we said before? What else is involved in the carpentry component?
We build the practice field that we play on before we go to competitions, but we also build the bumpers to protect our robot from getting hit.
Oh, okay. And they are actually built out of wood?
Made of wood and actually pool noodles wrapped in a fabric.
Yeah. What was your best story? What was your best memory of working on this project that you could share with everybody?
It was definitely seeing the rookies and people I've worked with become more confident and comfortable with all these things that they came into knowing nothing.
Yeah, I guess that's a big change. But you know what? I guess the good thing is that you've got enough people there that have been there from freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year to the point where you're a senior now. I know you're interested in computer engineering. Everybody's able to give something back to the other folks as they move up the chain?
Yes. I've learned a lot from them as much as I've taught them.
Yeah. Did you learn about management too?
Yes.
What's your definition of a leader? If you're going to be a leader of a group, what do you think a leader has to do, just from your experience working on this project?
A leader has to be able to function as the head, but allow their people to function as the rest of the body in terms of a project. You have to be able to divvy up work so that everyone has a say and also has a function and a part on the team.
Is it hard to give up some part of a project that you feel that you would really like to do and feel maybe you'd be able to do better?
Sometimes it can be, but for the most part, I find it gratifying to be able to look over everything and make sure that nothing goes wrong, but seeing other people put together what we all kind of like had an image of.
Right. Did you guys ever have any downtime? What did you do in downtime? Anything that was memorable too?
So during competitions, between matches, we often had a lot of downtime while they're setting up, or some teams were fixing something on the robot.
Yeah.
So we were already on the field, and me and another person on the drive team, he'd be on the airship, and we'd play rock, paper, scissors to pass the time.
I guess that's just to relax, right? You don't have to do something that's, a real brain teaser or anything like that. It's just, it's good to just relax and do something basic, right?
Yeah, a big thing that we always did was our drive team would do anything possible to take our minds off of the stress and just kind of cool off or have fun.
Yeah, because I guess when you were running when you were running the robot, were you the only one who did it, or did you switch with people, Evan?
I was in charge of driving our robot,
Yeah.
but we also have an operator.
Yeah.
And while I'm taking the robot from point A to point B, he's in control of picking up balls or shooting the balls or something like that.
Okay, so there are actually two people working on it. Folks, we're talking about robotics with New Jersey's Pascack Pioneers, the winners of the 2017 First Robotics World Championship. We're going to talk to them some more when we come right back, and stay tuned.
Flowers by Lisa, your #1 hometown florist, will turn your vision into reality through the beauty of floral arrangements. Located right in Pine Island, specializing in weddings and special events, Lisa assures delivery on time. Hospitals, wedding venues, restaurants, residences, businesses, or funeral parlors, Lisa delivers. Lisa offers 24-hour ordering at your fingertips. Lisa's creative design team will create a dazzling arrangement from your vision for any occasion. Lisa also has a vast array of gifts and plants, from teas to sweets, including candles, jewelry, greeting cards, and much more. Lisa will turn your vision into reality through the beauty of floral arrangements, and all at affordable rates. For more information or to order, visit flowers-by-lisa.com.
Hey, it's John Tesh. When you go to Leo Catus Ford, you can always count on their staff to listen to your wants and needs and deliver you an automobile, SUV, or truck at the most competitive price. Leo Catus Ford delivers it all. You'll walk in a customer, but you'll definitely leave a member of the Leo Catus Ford family. With almost 40 years in one location and 3 generations buying and selling at Leo Catus Ford, that's how you define success. your one stop for new and used cars and A1 service. Get the Works package for only $39.95, which includes up to 5 quarts of oil, and they will change your oil, rotate your tires, top off all fluids, and a free car wash. Hello! They will have you in the driver's seat with financing in place and will service your automobile, all at one showroom in Warwick, New York. Leo Cadis Ford, 145 Route 94. What are you waiting for? Call Leo Cadis Ford at 845-986-1131 or visit their website at leocadisford.com. Quality you can trust.
State Farm in the Clock Tower on Main Street in Warwick. One stop for all your business and personal insurance and financial services. Life, home, auto, disability, or business insurance, as well as banking and retirement planning. Call 986-7100 or come in and meet the team.
Piranha Grill is a 5-star food truck that creates home-cooked, delectable food, serving breakfast and lunch, including yummy donut muffins, egg sandwiches, burgers, freshly made French fries, and Piranha-issimos, which is chicken or pork with provolone, onions, and peppers on a roll or in a pita. Chief cook Renee uses organic ingredients and sources everything locally, including the truck. Renee, a 20-year Navy veteran, brings yummy to your neighborhood. Whether for a party, an event, or a festival, contact Renee on Facebook at Piranha-Grill.
This is Sister Anna. Listen to The Garden of the Child, a story discussion time with students. Story develops listening skills and imagination. Saturdays at 11:10 a.m. on WTBQ.
WTBQ.
Hey, this is Joe Dans, and welcome back to the Creativity and Technology Solutions for Business and Life show. And today we're talking robotics with New Jersey's Pascack Pioneers, and they're the winners of the 2017 First Robotics World Championship, which is an outstanding accomplishment because it's a world championship, and you folks have been there in the past, close, but now you won, which is just outstanding. This is a combination of 2 schools partnering together, Pascack Valley High School and Pascack Hills. And is Carly Rain there?
Yes, I am. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Carly. Carly, you're with Pascack Valley High School, and when it came to Pascack Hills rivalry and football, were you guys with Hills? Were you able to put that aside here for the robotics team?
That isn't even a thought in my head, the rivalry. I pretend that I actually go to Hills because we're here so much.
Is that right? Is that you're using their facilities primarily?
Yes.
That's good.
That's where the majority of the tools are and the space that the school gave us. So during the build season, the school provides a bus for the kids at Valley to go over to Hills. That's great. Can you go over there? And I think you can go over there and practice or do work anytime you want, too, in addition. Although I know you probably spent your whole life there. Can you go practice whenever you want or work on projects? For the majority, as long as we have a mentor present.
Right. Well, that's good, and that works well. And let's see. I understand that. Let's see. You're the past CEO, and is there actually a CEO for the whole program, Chief Executive Officer?
Yes, for our team, because there are so many students, and because there are 2 schools, we have 2 CEOs to run the whole team. One from Valley, one from Hills, and I am finally ending my leadership position after 2 years.
I imagine that's what was your biggest challenge as a person who pulls all this together, because it really is quite an enterprise, not unlike that of something you would see in business today.
The most difficult part of keeping it all together was to make sure that every single little thing was smooth sailing. So you had to make sure that the robot was on track and making sure that all the mechanisms are good, there's no conflict, making sure that the projects were okay, making sure all the paperwork was in, there were no students who were disappearing and not showing up, but also making sure that everyone was working together, and just every single aspect of the team had to be perfect at all times.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And also your interest, too, going down the road is you'd like to go to Arizona State University and become a biomedical engineer, right?
Yes. I will be leaving in August to go to ASU for biomedical engineering. I'm very excited.
Congratulations. Well, the key thing about creativity is anytime you can take 2 disciplines and pull them together, and certainly, you look at more and more of the world, you look at people like veterans who have lost limbs and things like that. There's definitely a tie between robotics and biomedicine too, right?
Yes, there is. The field nowadays is so vast. You can do anything from genetics to pharmaceuticals to prosthetics and medical devices. It's really endless opportunities.
Yeah. What was your best memory of, working with all these other team members in this program? What were some of the best stories that you have? Do you have a couple of them that were memorable that you felt great about?
Yes. One comes to mind was about the climber. So last year, there was a similar game where there was an end part that you had to climb a bar and raise the robot 2 feet above the ground. Unfortunately, that mechanism did not make it to the robot for various reasons. And I was kind of hard on myself because as part of the sub-team, I thought that I could have brought more to the table. I didn't have much of an engineering background coming onto the team.
Yeah.
And so for this year, when I heard that there was a climbing sub-team, I decided to torture myself again and go back onto the climbing sub-team. But now I knew everything that didn't work.
Yeah.
And I used everything that I had learned from the past 4 years. And after a couple of weeks during build season, it climbed. And this year, it didn't miss a single climb.
Oh, that's great. And so you ensured quality control, right?
Yes.
Was that something you did endemically with the team? Years ago, we talked about it, and I had talked to Kevin about it, and I think Jack too. We had talked about ISO 9000. Now I think it's SIM. It keeps eluding me. But how important was it for you to make sure that everybody valued quality control?
It was extremely important because in addition for just the robot being safe, there are certain guidelines in the manual that the robot can't have any sharp edges. It can't weigh over a max amount, which is about 120 pounds, can't be higher than 3 feet. So it's important that we stay inside those prerequisites, or else that's it, we can't use that robot.
You could be eliminated too, right? So you have very specific specs that are there, and if you don't adhere to those, you won't be able to compete. At the trials where they, I guess they looked everything upside down to make sure that it complied with the specifications of what they wanted?
Yes, at every single competition, there are robot inspectors, and at the beginning of qualification matches, they check off and give you a sticker and saying you are qualified to compete. And then right before elimination rounds and alliance selections, they check you again, because during the competition, you could have added a new mechanism, you could have taken away a mechanism. So they are always making sure that you are within the rules.
Sure. And folks, we're talking to Carly Ryan. She's a senior at Pascack Valley High School. She's going to be attending Arizona State University, studying biomedical engineering. And how valuable was being part of the robotics program in terms of getting you into the graduate school to the school you wanted to go to?
The robotics team is all of my engineering knowledge. Before the team, I was a hardcore art person. I was a dancer, I was a musician.
Oh, wow.
I knew absolutely nothing about engineering.
Yeah.
So I came onto the team after watching my brother being on the team for 4 years, and it completely changed my outlook on everything. I can now build things, I can design. It completely changed my path.
That's pretty cool. Did you guys, and we're coming up to the last, probably the last 45 seconds of the show, and Carly, did you guys use a 3D printer at all?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and since you're an artistic person, one of the things they found in the past with 3D printers was when you take an artist and you mesh that artist together with a 3D printer, they make the best users of those types of technology.
Yes, the 3D printers have been very helpful for our school. We're very thankful that our school has actually 2 printers, one at each school, and that we've been able to use them for the past few years. Very
good. And well, listen, folks, Kevin Killian, Jack Theodore, Jesse Belden, Carly Ryan, Evan Cho, and Kayla Vincent. Congratulations to all of you and your entire team of 80 people. We appreciate your time on this show, and we wish you good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Take care, folks. And that's it, folks. Farm Talk coming right up next.